Hello, and welcome to the first part of my Magical Readathon vlog, where I'm reading all the books for the Magical Readathon that runs through September. It's an awesome readathon that's kind of relaxed, non-competitive unless you're competitive with yourself. It's a readathon that goes in September and April, and we're in the September readathon portion. And it's off to a great start. Today is actually September 3rd. Things have been crazy. If you didn't see my August vlog, we got a cat. He might come say hi. You might just hear him in the background. But we got a new cat, so things have been a little busy. I was working September 2nd and September 3rd, which is today. I finally have some time that I can record this after work. And I just wanted to say that it's off to a great start because I've already finished one book. I picked this book because I wanted to kind of get my momentum going early and pick something that I could start early, finish early, kind of knock something out of the park right away. And that book was Deity by Matt Wesolowski. This is a book all about a podcaster called Scott King who does, throughout this series, he does these podcast episodes that are kind of true crime, but with a mix of like supernatural elements in there for these mysterious cases. This one happens to be about a famous musician who is not actually real in our world, but in this world, very famous. Think something like Michael Jackson, where it's like they're very big, very popular musician, but also very weird, fantastical, mystical, mythical kind of thing, like lots of weird stuff going on in his personal life. And it's about him and different people in his life who are trying to figure out what happened, because there were some weird things that were happening in his life, and then he was found dead. It burned in his house, and it's all about what actually happened. This is written like a podcast. It reads super quickly. It's the 5th in the series. I would read these in order. I wouldn't like pick up the 5th one and start there. You kind of want to start from the beginning and continue onward. But it's a really great series. I loved it. I read this in 2 days very easily while I was nannying, while the baby was down for her nap. I read this and I loved it. It was great. It was 5 stars. Couldn't have asked for a better way to start off the readathon. And then I'm starting I have a book that I'm reading for another project that is secret, so I can't tell you that. I started reading that. And then I'm also starting to read The Wind-Up Girl by Paolo Bacigalupi. Reading the back of this, very difficult to explain what is actually going on. The thing that I have from this summary that like kind of catches my attention and makes me interested in reading this, it says what happens when calories become currency. I'm about a chapter in, 20 pages, very weird so far. I am going to be talking about this in my Buzzword Readathon video, so I'll be giving more details out there, but I have started it. I'm probably not going to be reading this like all the way through. I'll probably take breaks with like other books because this is kind of dense and I'm not sure what I'll think about it, but I have started it. And then I've also started my other secret book, and I have some other things. I'm like just kind of wanting to start all the things. I don't know if that's going to happen. Martine from Just Martine is doing their challenge in a Discord group where you start a book every day in September. And I'm not going to lie, I want to do that really bad. I did that challenge in May. If you want to see how it turned out, you can go into my channel, or if I remember, I'll link it up here in the cards. But it's a very fun challenge where you start a book every day and you try to see how many you can finish because you're starting a book. Can you finish a book that day? How many books do you have going by the end? It's a very fun challenge. I did it in May and I have the itch to do it again, which is crazy because I still have like 5 books that I need to finish that I started in May that I have not gotten to yet. But that's kind of what I'm feeling, that itch to like read everything and just have like a bunch of books on the go that I can dip in and out of. Book 1, check. In my TBR video, I totaled up the number of pages that I need to have read in order to finish all the books that I want to finish by the end of the year. And this one is 248 pages. I needed to read about 130 every day in order to finish on time. Some of that time got taken up by Into the Drowning Deep, but I think with this being such a short, fast read, I read like 125 pages a day just in this over the first 2 days that I read it, but I didn't start anything for it on the first, so I'm like 130 pages behind roughly, because I've read a few pages in this and a few pages in the other one to make up that like extra 5 pages. So I'm probably about 130 pages behind, so I'm gonna try to like keep the momentum going. I'm not working for the rest of the week, so I do have some time, but also like our house is a disaster. We have to finish getting stuff set up for the cat, and I don't have a lot of audiobooks for this. I have Written in My Own Heart's Blood by Diana Gabaldon as an audiobook, but I kind of prefer reading those books physically because that's how I read all of them the first time. And I want to read this newest one. It's the only new Outlander I've read since I read An Echo in the Bone the first time like 12 years ago. So I really want to like read it physically, but I could also listen to the audiobook. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. But I have stuff that needs to get done. Oh, as an added challenge, I'm trying to finish up Campaign 2 of Critical Role before Campaign 4 starts, which is in October, early October. So I have like 20 episodes to listen to in 30 days, which is a lot. They're like 3 to 4 hours per episode usually. So I probably will spend a lot of time listening to that on top of all the reading. So like, we're going to be busy this month. But that's just my quick update on what's been going on. Yay for finishing a book right away and also jumping in to other ones. I can't wait to get to all my reads this month. I'm so excited about all of them. I am going to read a little bit more of this tonight, and maybe I'll start my puzzle book. I have like a mystery puzzle book that I added. So if I start that one, I'll definitely tell you how that's going. I'm excited. So I'm going to go get reading and kind of get settled for the night so I can have a couple hours to read. Hello, I'm back with an update. We're almost a week in and I finished some more things. So I finished this book, The Mystery Agency, The Museum Heist by Henry Lewis. This is a puzzle book where you have a mystery and you have these suspects and you have to fill out different things about them and the theft report, things like that, a map, and you go through the story and there's like different puzzles that are solved and you have to like put the right code to get in through the door, and you have QR codes to check your answers and stuff like that. And I did this over a few days. I want to say 3 or 4 days. And I had a good time with it. I think I can only give it 4 stars because, as with any puzzle thing, there were some puzzles that to me didn't quite make sense. They needed a little work in how they were presented, because to me, I was like, you're not giving me that one last little nudge in the right direction, so I'm understanding the information, I'm not knowing how to use the information to solve it. One thing, for example, was this one where I knew that these had something to do with this, but I couldn't make sense of how to use these on here to get information, like 2 and 3. Does that mean 2 down, 2 across? Coloring 2, the second one on the 3rd row, like trying to figure out what to do. And there was actually something in this puzzle specifically that did not work at all, because I'm not sure how. It was like put in the coordinates and then like connect them, but like nothing said to connect them. There was nothing telling you at all to connect them, and it wouldn't make sense with how they were laid out for them to be connected. I think that was probably like the worst puzzle, where I just kind of had to be spoiled for the answer and then go, okay, now how was I supposed to do that? There were riddles, there were mazes and codes and things like that. And overall, I thought I had a good variety for what you can do with just pen and paper. And I liked the pictures. What I liked the best was that basically you were trying to get information to eliminate suspects. So you know all these people are suspects. And you're going, okay, how do I like eliminate people and figure out who's actually the thief by eliminating everyone else? And then the last one left is there. And the information was really scattered throughout the book. So I might find something in like page 92 that would then give me help to solve something back here to go, I know you can be eliminated because now I know that that's your fingerprint, and so like your fingerprint can't be the one that was found at the crime scene because we know it's different. So I really enjoyed that, and I just have a really good time sitting and solving puzzles. I did need some hints on some, but others I thought were done really well, and I was able to solve them on my own. And overall, I had a good time. I had a good time with the mystery and the way it was set up. I got down to a 50-50 because I missed one piece of information that would have eliminated one of the suspects. So I had a 50-50 and I went with one. It felt too obvious and it was too obvious. And so it was my second guess that I got it right. So all in all, I had a really good time with this. What a fun little thing to do over a long weekend. And I just had a really good time with it. Then, on a slightly less positive note, I'm going to DNF this one. I'm going to talk more about it in my Buzzword Readathon, but unfortunately, this has been a theme of the Buzzword Readathon books. Hopefully not all of them, but definitely we're on a streak of DNFing. I got to page 30, and I'm just going to put it down. Now, for Aurelium, you can either just DNF a book and pick up a book to replace it and read it for that prompt, or you can buy a scroll which lets you use a book as a DNF but still count it for your class, because normally DNFs don't count at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a placeholder on my TBR for this one, and if I get to it, I will read it, and if I don't, I'll buy a scroll to use as a DNF. So what I'm going to replace it with, it needed to be a book that had the number of letters in the title had to be a prime number. So I'm going to go with Demon by Matt Westlowski. This is the next and final book in the 6-story series. I just read Deity and loved it, and I was like, I could just potentially zoom on through. This is like 223 pages, so definitely something I could zoom through. Definitely shorter than this one. This was a slog to read the 30 pages I read. So yeah, definitely gonna try to get to this one if I can. If not, no skin off my back, I'll buy a scroll and read this maybe in the next month. But if I read this would also help with some October goals, because I have some really hefty goals for October. So knocking this off would be really good. I'm getting very excited for what I have in mind for October.
Busy white sun in the gray skies. I am leaving your house. I'm crying, but you don't care. No, once again, I'm all alone and all in the shadow.
I'm back with a little update. I am falling behind. It is the 10th of September, and I have not been reading as much as I need to stay caught up with everything, especially because there are some other things that have kind of crept in that I also want to participate in. So let's just talk about what's going on and how we're doing. I have made a little to-do list that will run throughout the month. I'm going to pop it up here so you can see it while I talk about it. I have completed 2 things. I've completed the museum heist and Deity. Those are 2 of the shortest books that I need to read. I ended up DNFing the Wind-Up Girl and tentatively putting Demon in its place as a book that I could read instead of the Wind-Up Girl. However, at the rate I'm going, I'm not going to have time for that one because excluding the pages for Demon and some other things that I've put up on this to-do list, I need to read about 140 pages per day, whereas before it was only 130 pages per day. So I'm definitely not reading as much as I need to be. So the things that I've added on here that are taking up some of that time are Blood Over Brighthaven. This is the Shelf This Book Club book. I decided to go ahead and start reading it because I only have it on a 14-day loan from my library, so I needed to get it and read it quickly when it came in. So I have started this. I'm almost halfway through. I'm loving it. I'm doing a spoiler-filled vlog because I'm just that into it. This is so good. I love it so much. So I'm enjoying it greatly, but it is taking away from my Magical Readathon plans and all my other plans for September. I have been reading quite a bit in my secret book, which is for Taming the Shelves. It's a secret book that I pulled a while ago and I hadn't got to it yet. So I'm working on that one. I'm 20% of the way in, so we are making progress, but it's a 760-page mass market paperback, and so it's going to take a while to read it, but it needed to get done. So I'm working on that. That's also a fantasy, so I'm reading really heavy fantasy right now. This isn't heavy fantasy, but it's fantasy for sure. And the other one is heavy epic fantasy. Then I've started a teeny bit of Insomnia. If you watched my TBR, you'll know I was already halfway through this when we started. I read maybe 5 pages, and I will continue to read this probably as one of my main reads. I'm trying to go with the snowball method of read the shorter things first, save the longer reads for last, and see if the momentum gets me going through the longer read. I am reading the super long secret book kind of as we're going along because I have that on my phone, so it's an easy one to pick up and read here and there, read before bed, things like that. So that's all good. Some other things I want to add in is Twilight, the throwback book club hosted by Lizzie at Lizzie's Literary Life and Danielle at Danielle Reads. They're doing a September, October, November, December read-along of the Twilight series. That's one of Danielle's favorites. I have never read them. I wasn't allowed to read them when I was in high school, and then by the time I was in college, I think I'd heard so many negative things about it that I wasn't sure that I'm pretty sure it's not my thing. I think I know too many negative things that when I read it, I'm only going to know the negative things. I don't know. But I did ask for it from the library as an audiobook because I was not going to be able to read it physically. If the audiobook comes in, we're going to try to slot that in there. However, you'll notice one of my other goals that's not a book is finishing Critical Role Season 2, which is what I'm working on. I think I'm on episode 125 of 141, so I have 16 to go, but we only have 20 days in the month left. So I'm having to listen to an episode a day to get through that on time, and that's 2 to 4 hours. So that's a lot of audiobook time. So we'll see what happens. But basically, I'm having to read a lot. I'm enjoying a lot. This is fabulous. I'm really enjoying my secret book. I'm vlogging them for other vlogs. So right now the updates aren't telling you a lot about the books I'm reading except for that I'm liking them. But in other videos, you'll see actual updates on what I think about them. As far as what I'm going to be picking up to review on this vlog, I'm eyeing the Brandon Sandersons because I don't know if I'll want to read them back to back. So I'm thinking of picking up The Sunlit Man while I'm at home the next few days because I don't want to haul my special editions around to work and stuff just in case of like accidents, because I keep like my lunch and my water and my coffee cup in my bag and I don't want anything spilling on them. So I kind of want to read them while I'm at home. I think I'm going to save Written in My Own Heart's Blood for the end because I can get the audiobook of that one and then I could read it on audiobook and physical and kind of like get through to the end that way. That's kind of my plan. I'm using this checklist to kind of keep me going throughout the month, make sure I'm really working towards meeting those goals. I don't know how much I've read today. It's probably only like 15 pages. Oops. I was really tired, took a nap, worked out, had to go to the DMV, all kinds of stuff. Had to do a lot of editing. I did edit a very fun video, a little discussion video that you're going to see. You will have seen before this. It should go out the week before this one goes out. All about fighting capitalism with your bookshelves and your reading life. And it was a very fun video to make, very different, just kind of a sit down chat video about something I feel pretty passionate about. So that was fun. And yeah, now I'm gonna go do my evening stuff with the animals and then hopefully get a little bit of reading time. I have said that like the past 5 days, like maybe I'll get a little reading time before bed, and then I get like 3 pages and then I need to go to sleep. So we're gonna try to do a little better tonight. So I'm gonna go do that stuff after I film a quick update for another vlog, and then I'm gonna go read, shower, get ready for bed, hopefully read a little more, play with the animals, walk the animals, all that stuff. Hello, I am going to be settling down for some reading today. It's Friday the 12th, and I haven't done any reading yet today. I slept in a little bit, and then I joined like an Oregon online writers group for like a write-in this morning, and we did like 2 45-minute sprints to do some writing. So that was like a couple hours of sitting down, played a little bit of a video game, which was more sitting down, and then I ate lunch. So I haven't been moving a lot today. So I want to move, so I'm going to be pacing and reading as much of Blood Over Brighthaven as I can. If my hands get tired of holding a paperback while I pace, I will switch to probably Insomnia, because I have that in a mass market paperback. And I just want to do some walking. My goal right now is to get 8,000 steps per day, and I'm only at like 1,200. So I want to like get the ball rolling on those steps, so I'm not trying to do like 5,000 right before bed. But the writers group was really fun. I have been working on my readathon, which is like a narrative-based readathon. So there's a lot of story that I actually have to like write out. So that's been my writing project, and it felt really good to get through it, like to get back to it. And I wrote a pretty good amount for someone who's like coming back to it after a long break. So I was really excited. I do need to talk to my sister about making art for that, because I do want her to make some art. I have a really cute idea. I would like to talk to her about that, so I kind of need to solidify my vision and then see what we can like work out together for her to make some art for the readathon. But that's very exciting, and I can't wait for people to actually get to like see it and be a part of it, and I hope it's good. I think it's really good. I'm falling in love with like this little world I've created and this little town and all these characters. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be fun and a different type of readathon than one I've seen before. That just has me all sorts of hyped about that, and now I'm going to be reading and pacing for a little while.
Away from your loving, oh, yeah, hurts and mysteries, and why I'm running, it hurts so bad, oh, that I bridge into the town and then down, that I bridge and down, oh, no, I don't know where I'm going, still I'm running.
I'm back with with my final update for this vlog. I want to remind you, if you are interested in seeing how the rest of the month turns out with my reading, please don't forget to subscribe, and you'll be seeing it in 2 weeks. There's going to be a spoiler vlog for Blood Over Brighthaven coming up next, and then the second part of the September reading will come out once September's finished. So if you're interested at all in checking things out, please subscribe. I'd love to hang out more with you and share what I'm reading and what I think about it. But let's just wrap up this vlog here. I finished Blood Over Brighthaven yesterday. I will give more details in my spoiler vlog of what exactly I thought about everything, because I had a lot of thoughts about the last half of it. I read it very quickly within like 2 days, so it was a very fast read towards the end, and I just had a lot of reading time and I focused on it and I finished it. So that was great. Unfortunately, that means, well, in some ways it's great because I checked that book off the list, but reminder that this is also a Magical Readathon vlog, and Blood Over Brighthaven was not read for the Magical Readathon. So I still have a lot of Magical Readathon books to read, which I will be starting on in the next vlog. I still have 5 books to read in September just for the Magical Readathon, on top of the other things that I wanted to squeeze in there, including another read for the Magical Readathon to replace my DNF of the Wind Up Girl. So we'll see. Wish me luck. As a reminder, here's our to-do list and how it's coming along. We've added a check mark for Blood Over Brighthaven. As a little update, I got to episode 129 in Critical Role, and I have to get through 141 to finish off the campaign. So we are making progress. I am still needing to listen to about 1 a day, but so far that's been working pretty well. My thoughts on Blood Over Brighthaven was it was a very good book. I really enjoyed it. It gave me everything I wanted from it. Like, when I was reading, I would be like, this needs to happen with this character, and then it would. And then I would be like, I'm thinking this way about this character, and then something would happen to like reinforce that. So I feel like ML Wong did a really good job of like giving me breadcrumbs to lead me where the story was going to go without it being like super obvious where the story was going to go, because I would just be like, I really want this to happen. I feel like it would be very justified in this story, and I feel like it would be so cathartic if this happened. And then it like did. Like, that kept happening over and over, where I'm like, the things that I want to happen in the story, she's giving me in the story, which was really great. I definitely cried. It was a very sad yet perfect ending. Like, there were definitely like consequences to people's actions in a way that felt very real. It didn't feel like a fairy tale ending, like, oh, you do one small thing, everything's tied up with a bow, true love's first kiss fixes everything, and everyone's great. It's just like, it's so much more complicated than that. It felt very real world. Everything you do has consequences in the real world, so pick your actions very carefully. Otherwise, things might go very wrong, and I really enjoyed that about the story. I would highly recommend it. Go subscribe to Bailey at Is Bailey Reading, because they're going to do a whole live show, her and Danielle. They're going to do a whole live show discussing Blood Over Brighthaven, and I'm definitely going to try to like be there for the live show and share my thoughts there as well. And so make sure you check them out. If you have read Blood Over Brighthaven and you like it, Danielle at Danielle Reads is the one who picked it. So if you like her taste in books, you could go check out her channel as well. I thought it was a very good pick. I'm like, maybe Danielle should pick all my reads from now on, because I loved it so much. And that's all I have for you. So I will see you in the next video. If your reading is going well this month, tell me about it. If it's not going well, tell me about it. I'd love to talk with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.